Hey everybody, you join me on my weekly, got a couple of hours to kill, hanging out down in Portsmouth, where the clocks have changed now. It's still light, which is very nice, and it's not that cold. My jacket liner is out. I'm going to just ride around and see what happens down here. It is suspiciously quiet though for Portsmouth, I have to say. Normally I expect to see a lot more people around, but the ride up here was very, very quiet, and the city seems pretty quiet. Well, I say it seems pretty quiet. There is one thing I've noticed, and that is the sheer amount of people doing, like, you know, the food delivery things now on scooters or on foot or on motorbikes, electric scooters and scooters. Just this sheer amount of, like, delivering food to people companies. The reason it blows my mind is of how many people must be ordering food in, and also the amount that people order food in. Particularly I've noticed in younger generations and through like my Discord. Of course some people cook, but lots of people very often order food in. Like, I'd love to ask you, like, can you cook? And I'm not saying here doing like some handmade from scratch risotto or anything like that. I'm talking about just cooking yourself normal food. You know, lasagnas and, I don't know, bolognese. Just standard food. How often do you cook? And I cook every single day for me and Reno. It just amazes me how many people can't cook. And it definitely feels like a generational thing. And I'm just like wondering if that's because people weren't taught or because we weren't taught in school. I mean, we had food tech when I was at school, but that didn't teach you anything about just basic cooking, basic skills, the ability to just, read a recipe and do that thing. Cooking meat, that's something they never did. That's just what kids need to know. This is chicken, this is how you cook chicken, this is how you know chicken is cooked. Because that's something that scares a lot of people. It's like, oh, I don't want to eat, medium rare chicken. And for those people, I tell you now, get a temperature probe. They're about 10 quid. I even use them. I was a chef for 7 years, and I used them all the time. That was done for due diligence to make sure that, everything was actually legally cooked, because I didn't want to hurt someone. But for my own food, obviously I'm also going to want to take the same sort of precautions, but not the same legal risks involved. So, but it's handy. Like if you're doing a curry or something and you want to check that the chicken's cooked, you can try and cut through it and then the sauce gets all over it and then you can't really see what colour the chicken is, or you just stick a temperature probe in it. Why am I talking about this? I know what people are going to say. They're going to be like, Spicy, you've got to do some cooking videos. No, I refuse. I never will. Go away. We bring the new rules in to protect cyclists. Cyclists, red light, fang. How did I go onto a tangent about cooking? Oh yeah, because of all the delivery people. God, this is good. These are going to be like old school vlogs. Watch them get 500 views and nobody cares. But see Deliveroo, or whatever it is. Which one? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I literally don't. I've never had the app on my phone. I've never ordered one of these things. The only thing I ever order food from is a Chinese, and then that's done directly from the shop itself. Let's go this way. Oh, it's just so cool that it's still light. Honestly, it's when you got to kill a couple of hours. It's much easier in the daylight because you can actually see things. You can look at stuff of interest. Of course, jollies like this are getting a little bit more expensive, but I don't ever want to give in to like, oh, I better not go for a fun ride because it's going to cost too much. Oh, yada yada. No, it's worth it. All the hovercrafts here. This is neat. There we go. Up. Try and get to a window. Oh, it's a little bit murky. Hovercrafts are cool. Don't get to see many hovercrafts these days. I think the most amazing thing about hovercrafts is how low the PSI coming out the air of them is to make them hover. It only has to be about something like 4 or 5 PSI coming out the bottom, but because of the area, that is more than enough to lift the thing off the ground, and they literally hover. It's insane. It's like when I was a kid, I was like, how doesn't the rubber bag get all ripped up? It's like, because it's not touching the ground, it's hovering, you idiot. This is where you make people think you're breaking the law by going around. Thank you. Please, yeah, we do. Sweet. Oh my god. So you got one rider there, one over there, another one we're going to call. See what I mean? There's another one over there. So I mean, they're just everywhere. There is more food delivery drivers here currently than people. Oh, that's still yellow and blue for obvious reasons. Can we find any fish? Any fish? Small fish? Microfish? Yeah, I kind of visit a fish. Talking about visiting fish, I am now slowly extending my list of living creatures I've taken on a motorcycle. Rhino, so human being, wasp in my jacket, bees and bugs and things, frog, in African dwarf frogs, several species of fish, some snails, a couple of species of shrimp. I've carried these things on my bike. What is the strangest animal you've ever carried on a bike? That is a very cool statue. It's from obviously the mine clearance divers. I can't go into too many details, but one of my relatives was a mine clearance diver at one point. And yeah, so that actually says a lot. Sorry, I just thought I was freaking out then or something. I thought that woman had been paused. She was so stationary until she turned around. I was like, it's kind of weird, because you know, like, that doesn't look like it's moving, and you know it's not moving. Where a human's always got that bit of movement to it. Didn't look like she had any. They're a robot. I wonder who that belongs to, because that is massive. That's a cool little boat. I like that boat quite a lot. You got a cabin to get out of the rain. Got a little back deck. It's a little rain marine. I like that a lot. Cars on the left. But thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this random whatever it was video. As I say, I didn't really have any plan other than I'm coming down here and shove the camera on. I think that's a good thing to do occasionally, you know. Well, for me anyway, I enjoy making these sorts of videos, and 6 or 7 people also enjoy watching them, so it is good. It is good. And a huge thanks to my Patreon supporters. I appreciate you massively. Until the next one, bye bye.